Good evening, guys. Tonight we're taking a look at another accessory for the Apple Watch. This is another case. This one's by Orzly. It's called the InvisiCase, and this one is for the 42mm Apple Watch. Now I ordered this on eBay. It was around $10 with shipping. So I wanted to take a look and see how it works. I'd read about it online, and you know, the people who have traditional watches often scoff at the idea of putting a case on a watch because even traditional watches costing thousands of dollars, most people don't put cases on them. I don't even think that they make cases for them. So the idea of putting a case on an Apple Watch, which costs much less than some fine Swiss timepieces, is something that's foreign to a lot of people. But obviously, a lot of Apple Watch owners also own iPhones, and a lot of iPhone owners use cases for their phones. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand with that. This case is ultra light, ultra thin, and unlike some other cases out there, it actually includes protection for the front crystal of the watch. It's not as flexible as some of the other cases out there. It has some stiffness to it, but it just snaps in place over the top of the watch and protects kind of the case sides and the crystal. So it comes on this foam pad, which is installed backwards. It makes it look like the watch dial faces towards the back, but the watch dial actually faces out through the protector here. So let's snap it in place and then see how it works with the different straps, and also see how it changes the reflectivity and the touch sensitivity of the screen. So here I have my watch. I have the straps off of it, so we can install this easier. You can see that there's cutouts on the case for the digital crown and the side button, and also for the microphones and things like that. So I'm gonna snap it on from this side since the crown sticks out further. Just kind of stretch it over the side and pull it, and it just snaps in place. Now once it's on, it's actually, sits pretty smooth, pretty flush against the case, so it's almost, from a distance, hard to perceive that you even have a case on there. And you can see the touch sensitivity works through the case. So let me enter my passcode here. Yeah, it seems to work okay, even with the case on. Obviously the back isn't covered at all, but the back isn't really what you're worried about protecting most times. Plus it leaves the entire case back open for the charging. The crown, it still sticks out far enough that it's easy to grab with the fingers, but it doesn't really protect the crown very well. Any impacts to the crown aren't really shielded with this case because it's so thin. The side button is still easily accessible. It's completely uncovered. Again, the microphone and speaker have cutouts, so it shouldn't interfere with that. Let me install the Milanese on here. Make sure that slides in easily. Yeah, it locks right in place. It doesn't really interfere with the Milanese at all. Plus, it doesn't cover the release button for the strap on the back. So all in all, as far as cases go, probably one of the least obvious cases on the market. It does kind of change the reflectivity of the screen a little bit. It might be a little bit more reflective with this case on. I'm not sure if this case has an oleophobic coating or anything like that, but just for comparison's sake, I have another different style case. This one is from EEEKit online. I purchased this one on eBay as part of a set with some straps and some strap adapters. So let's pop that on and just have a comparison to see how that looks. This is the EEEKit protective cover for the Apple Watch. You can see it's quite a bit chunkier. It is quite a bit thicker material than the Orzly case. This one leaves the crystal exposed, so the crystal doesn't get any protection. Although, you know, if you have the Apple Watch, it's a sapphire crystal, so it's a very hard material. It's much less likely to scratch. The thing that this case does is it does give you a little bit of impact protection around the edges of the crystal because of how thick it is. So a lot of impacts to the corners will be absorbed by the edges of this case. The one difference is the case does cover part of the case back. It doesn't actually cover the charging disc, but it covers around it. So it's hard to access the push buttons for the strap release. The case is flexible, so you are able to kind of pull it over with your fingernail to get at the buttons. This case is much more flexible than the Orzly case. The Orzly case is made of a stiffer, thinner material. So those are the main differences between these two cases. The EEEKit case does kind of protect the crown a little bit more because it kind of gives a little bit of protection around the sides. The crown is a little bit harder to turn as a result because it's kind of buried in there. But you know, if you're in more of a high impact situation, maybe this one might be better as far as shielding the actual case from impacts. If you want to protect the crystal, then maybe look at the Orzly case. One additional comment I wanted to make about these types of cases, in particular probably more the Orzly case more than the EEEKit case, is that some comments online about watch cases and phone cases in general is that if any dirt or grit gets trapped in between the case and the watch, it could actually cause more scratches to occur on the watch. So the case is good in terms of protecting from impact, but actual micro scratches from debris and things like that might make the situation worse because it's just going to trap that material in between the case and the watch. So that's something to watch out for, no pun intended. You might want to consider, if you have a case on, that you periodically take it off and clean out underneath, and then make sure you just keep an eye on it, especially if you're in dusty or sandy conditions, that you're aware of any dust that might be getting trapped in between the case and the watch. Anyway, thanks for checking out this review. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to add them below and I'll try and answer them. Also, if you like this review, please subscribe and stay tuned for more Apple Watch accessory reviews in the future. Also, check us out at watchintime.com for some additional written reviews and more pictures. All right, thanks for tuning in.